You're listening to the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network, home of the #1 sports talk show on the planet, The Doug Stewart Show.
This is a revolution in radio, the realest, trillest sports talk show in America, The Doug Stewart Show.
Broadcasting live Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to noon Eastern Time, exclusively on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network.
This is sports talk for the people.
Follow Stewart Media and Entertainment right now on Facebook to stay connected and locked in for upcoming events like the Couples and Cocktail Series, viewing parties, and much, much more. Up next, get ready to ride raw with the Doug Stewart Show.
This is sports talk with hot sauce, Texas Pete hot sauce, the Doug Stewart Show.
Exclusively on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network.
Yes! The wait is finally over. Baseball season is here at last, and the excitement continues all season long at DraftKings.com, the official daily fantasy partner of Major League Baseball. Daily fantasy means no season-long commitments, just instant cash, instant gratification. Why wait until the end of the season to claim victory when you can win huge cash every day? At DraftKings, it's like a brand new season every time you play. Just select 2 pitchers and 8 position players, stay under the salary cap, and you could be on your way to an enormous payday. Last year, Peter from Colorado won $1 million at DraftKings in one day, just playing fantasy baseball. Hundreds of thousands of fantasy sports fans just like you have already cashed in at DraftKings. Now it's your turn. Hurry to DraftKings.com now and enter promo code SPREAKER to play for free. You could win part of $300 million in prizes being awarded this season. Use promo code SPREAKER for free entry now at DraftKings.com. DraftKings.com, that's DraftKings.com. This your boy Doug Stewart for my folks at System 5 Electronics. They're proud to offer my listeners here in the Metro Atlanta area all the way down to Macon, Georgia, the most affordable home security monitoring systems, featuring smart solutions for that busy lifestyle you lead for as low as $16.50 per month. Here's some of the reasons why you should choose System 5.
Hi, I'm Maceo Brown, President and CEO of System 5 Electronics. We take pride in making sure that security is the #1 thing that we do. And thanks to you, the customer that has supported us, we have grown this company in Southwest Atlanta where we're creating jobs and opportunities.
Not only is their monitoring station here in Atlanta, but they also install the most advanced, up-to-date alarm systems where you can access cameras, lights, door locks, thermostats, and other devices remotely with your smartphone. 24/7 technical support, plus the lowest service call fees in the business. And check this, you own the security alarm system once it's installed. And you get direct access to the owner if you ever got a problem, Mr. Maceo Brown. Click on the banner on the Doug Stewart Show website or app for more details, or give them a call at 404-756-0736. Again, that's 404-756-0736, or online at System5ElectronicsInc.com. That's System5ElectronicsInc.com.
You will not be able to lose yourself on Skag and skip out for beer during commercials because the revolution will not be televised.
Do you want that real sports talk? Unfiltered, unsanitized? Well, you have found it. This is a revolution in radio. The realest, trillest sports talk show in America. The Doug Stewart Show. This is sports talk for the people. Yes! What's happening? Yay! Wild Out Wednesday. Thank you for joining your boy on the Doug Stewart Show. And so many things to get into, but we got to bring it back one more time. Bring it back. Bring it back. Ow! Oh, boy. Yeah, thank you for joining your boy on the Doug Stewart Show. This is a Wild Out Wednesday, April 22nd, 2015. And oh, boy, got a lot of great stuff to get into today. Thank you so much for patronizing the show, the live show, Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern Time. And if you're a new listener, I got to do this every single day, man. I got to do this every single day. If you're a new listener, man, thank you for tuning in to the Doug Stewart Show. Once again, we do this Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern Time, and we talk guy talk, sports talk, more prevalently, as well as everything else going on in the world of sports. Whatever you're talking about at your water cooler, this is what we talk about on the Doug Stewart Show, a.k.a. TDSS. Yeah. So make sure you follow the show on Spreaker.com or on the Spreaker app. Follow the show, hit the little follow button, and then jump in the chat room and be totally interactive like my people's already in there. What's up to Rail Scott, Jungle Brother, That Ninja, Mocha Bella, Vince from Minnesota. What's up, Stewies? Yes! What up to all of the Stewies, man, to make this show totally interactive. All right, so what are we going to get into today, man? Every day we talk about birthdays, a couple of interesting birthdays out there we'll discuss and give them some happy birthday shout-outs, especially if you got a birthday. Like yesterday, who was it? It was That Ninja's birthday yesterday, and so we wished him a happy birthday, so we'll do that with you as well. If you got a birthday, let me know about it in the chat room, and then I'll give you some love as well so the world can know it's your birthday. So we do birthdays. Obviously, we're going to talk about these sports. The NFL schedule is out. We'll get into that. The Falcons got a pretty big game, if you ask me. Floyd Mayweather Jr. disses somebody and says he's the greatest. We'll talk about that. RG3 gets dissed. This should have been the diss show. We should have called this the diss show. LeBron James gets dissed as well. And we got to revisit, man, once again, we got to revisit that Warren Sapp video. This ninja crazy. Yeah, so we're going to talk about that Warren Sapp video once again. NBA playoffs in full swings. We'll review what happened last night, kind of talk about what goes on tonight, all of that type of stuff. The number to the show is 404-382-0338. Or you can give me an email, or you can send me an email at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. All right? But the easy way, once again, the easy way to be totally interactive and get your thoughts out there. I read a lot of chat on the show, a tremendous amount of chat. Like the listeners, the Stewies, I call them, they're kind of like my co-pilots, my co-hosts, my wingmen have you. Yes, sir. Whatever's going on, give me your thoughts and your comments, and I'll read a lot of that stuff throughout today's show. All right? So, you know what else we're going to do today? We're gonna talk rap. We're gonna talk some hip hop. Yesterday, what did we do yesterday that kind of brought on the conversation? We were talking Public Enemy. It was a Tribute Tuesday. So on Tuesdays we do Tribute Tuesday, which we pay tribute to a group, a music group, a hip hop group most of the time because I'm a huge hip hop fan. And so yesterday we paid tribute, the first ever Tribute Tuesday. We paid tribute to the great Public Enemy. And then so in all of the conversation about Public Enemy, it was a comment made, and there was a lot of conversation in the chat room about their relevance and about them being, influential and how influential a group Public Enemy was. And so I thought about it, and I'm like, you know what? That's a good top 5 topic. So today, what we're going to do on the Doug Stewart Show is we're going to talk about, I'm going to give you my top 5 most influential rap artists / groups of all times. Yes, sir. And I think, and there's always debate, but I think that I have the definitive list on most influential artists / groups in rap history. I think I've got it. A lot of times people disagree with me on my list or whatever, and that's fine. That's your prerogative. But I really believe today I have the definitive top 5 influential rap groups / artists of all times. And I got, varying reasons on why I have these particular groups, these particular entities in the order that I do, and I like my list. It's going to be fantastic. So what are your thoughts on that, man? And I think most of them are very obvious. I think that you could probably guess my list to a T with some slight variation once again. But I think most of them we can agree upon. The order might be, tweaked a little bit or whatever per your personal taste. Once again, but I think that these 5 groups, artists, entities, whatever you want to call them, are the definitive list. So we'll have some fun with that today. 404-382-0338 is the number to the show. Congratulations to Coach Budenholzer, Atlanta Hawks head coach. News came out late yesterday during our show, kind of like 11:30, that he had won the NBA Coach of the Year. And I'm listening to some of these talking heads, on TV, and some of them are miffed. Some of them really thought that Steve Kerr would win this thing. Yeah. No. I mean, and I think this is obvious. If you look at Steve Kerr and what he's done with Golden State, it's a tremendous job. But, I mean, hell, Mark Jackson was taking that damn team to the playoffs every year. One of the higher seeds in the Western Conference. Not that he's not doing a great job, once again, but they've got much more talent, much more signature talent, and you're talking about Klay Thompson and you talk about Steph Curry, obviously, than the Hawks do. And Coach Budenholzer, along with Danny Ferry, but Coach Budenholzer in this conversation talking about the coaches, man, has done a lot more with a lot less. The Atlanta Hawks, the number 1 seed in the Eastern Conference? That's unbelievable. That's unbelievable. So congratulations to Coach Bud. Fantastic job. Has really brought a true culture of winning. And it had to take something like this, something major, a major shift in philosophy for this Atlanta Hawks team to do so well this year, which, let's be honest, has been one of the worst organizations, one of the worst-led organizations, and one of the worst teams historically in basketball over the last 30 or 40 years, at least in my lifetime. So he's done a tremendous job, man. So congratulations to him. Congratulations to the Hawks organization. It seems like they've turned things around. The only thing the Hawks don't have right now is a quote-unquote superstar. They've got a lot of good players. They've got a lot of very good players, but they don't have a superstar. That's the only thing that would probably take this Hawks organization to the next level. And based on the fact that they won a lot of games this year, they aren't going to be in the running for one of these top 1 or 2 picks, one of these transformational picks like a Jahlil Okafor or a Cauley Stein or Towns or anybody like that. So they're going to have to continue to do well and play team basketball the way that they've done this entire year, ever since Coach Bud's been here, and really try to implement what they've done in San Antonio over the last 15 or 20 years or so. And San Antonio is obviously one of the benchmark organizations of the league, but the difference between them and us, we run the same style. You know, Coach Bud came from San Antonio under Greg Popovich, but we don't have a Tim Duncan. That's the only difference. That's the only difference. But I still think this team can do fantastic, tremendous things. I think they can. I think they're going to shock the world. Nobody has them going to the NBA Finals. Nobody. None of these so-called experts think that the Atlanta Hawks are going to make any noise as far as the finals, but we'll see. Have some faith, Ninja. Have some faith. All right. When we get back, we're going to talk about this, some NBA. We'll talk a little bit of NBA, and then we'll also get into this conversation about the NFL, man. They released the schedules last night and some interesting matchups in football in the 2015-2016 NFL season. So we'll get into that. I'll also tell you number 5 on my list of top 5 most influential, and that's the key word, influential, not lyricists, not anything else, influential rap groups / artists of all times. Don't go away. This is The Doug Stewart Show. You've been thinking about starting that online store, right? And you do know e-commerce makes billions a year. That's right. I said billions with a B, okay? A B. Well, just do it and do it right with my friends at AmeriCommerce. AmeriCommerce is an easy-to-use tool to sell anything online, on Facebook, and through mobile phones. Over 100,000 merchants and website owners have chosen AmeriCommerce to handle their stores and customers. They have the most in-depth features in the industry, which include multiple storefronts, website management from one console, a Facebook shopping application, a mobilized, optimized website, and much more. Don't let eBay, Amazon, and Zappos get all the money. Get your piece of the pie, too. Click on their banner link on thedougstewartshow.com or the app link for more details. First of all, thank you for listening to The Doug Stewart Show. Now, if you've been listening for a while, you know that we've grown exponentially over the first couple of months. Whether that's listens, whether that's followers, we're blowing up, and you can be a part of it. If you have a company out there and you like to promote on The Doug Stewart Show, we'd love to partner with you. Here's what you do. Email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Once again, that's doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Whether that's locally, regionally, or nationally, we can get the word out. What you're talking about is middle-aged dudes that love sports and love exciting sports talk. Once again, email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. That's doug@thedougstewartshow.com, and we will put you out there, all right? That's doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Let's do some business. Yes! The wait is finally over. Baseball season is here at last, and the excitement continues all season long at DraftKings.com, the official daily fantasy partner of Major League Baseball. Daily fantasy means no season-long commitments, just instant cash, instant gratification. Why wait until the end of the season to claim victory when you can win huge cash every day? At DraftKings, it's like a brand new season every time you play. Just select 2 pitchers and 8 position players, stay under the salary cap, and you could be on your way to an enormous payday. Last year, Peter from Colorado won $1 million at DraftKings in one day, just playing fantasy baseball. Hundreds of thousands of fantasy sports fans just like you have already cashed in at DraftKings. Now it's your turn. Hurry to DraftKings.com now and enter promo code SPREAKER to play for free. You could win part of $300 million in prizes being awarded this season. Use promo code SPREAKER for free entry now at DraftKings.com. DraftKings.com, that's DraftKings.com.
It was all a dream. I used to read Word Up magazine. Salt and pepper and Heavy D up in the limousine. Hanging pictures on my wall.
Welcome back to the Doug Stewart Show. This is a Wild Out Wednesday. And talking about the top 5 most influential rap artists / groups of all time. And coming in at number 5 on my list, man, is Biggie Smalls. And you might say to yourself, man, I mean, he was a great artist. But influential, what was influential about Biggie Smalls? And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. What was influential about Biggie Smalls is really he was the catalyst and the front man on Bad Boy Records. What's significant about Bad Boy Records? Bad Boy Records basically brought it back to the East Coast. And I mentioned this before a couple of weeks ago in some other conversation that we had on the Doug Stewart Show. But for a minute, and people don't even understand this, for a minute, the West Coast dominated hip-hop. And in more particular, talking about Death Row Records. Before Death Row Records, rap was total New York. It wasn't even like anything else. I mean, there were other artists out there from other cities in this country. But in effect, Death Row Records in the West Coast like took over hip-hop and had all the top artists. That's when Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre, obviously, and Tupac Shakur were with Death Row Records, and they actually took all of the power, really. And I guess it kind of led later into a lot of little beef, obviously, which led to the deaths of 2 of the most prominent figures in hip-hop history. But Death Row Records really dominated, and at that point, West Coast hip-hop dominated hip-hop, all right? And Biggie Smalls really brought it back to the East Coast in Bad Boy Records, all before Death Row and all before Suge Knight and the West Coast rappers and the team of artists that they had on Death Row Records. Hip-hop was 100% New York City. Anything you heard on the radio was all New York City. And so it was phenomenal when Death Row Records took over once again, and then Biggie Smalls brought it back to the East Coast, to the Mecca, New York City. I mean, New York City is where hip-hop started. And so that was just an incredible thing, and it was a shift. It was a shift from East Coast to West Coast and West Coast back to the East Coast, and it all led with the great Biggie Smalls. So he comes in at number 5 on my list of top 5 most influential rappers of all times. All right, 404-382-0338 is the number to the show. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. And last night in the NBA, the Cleveland Cavaliers, they go up 2-0 on their series against the Boston Celtics as they win 99-91. Boston actually was in this thing till the very, very end, and the Cavaliers made a nice little run at the end. LeBron James goes for 30 points. Isaiah Thomas, who has really, really emerged in these playoffs, man, he had 22 points in a losing effort for the Boston Celtics. Washington goes up 2-0 in this series against the Toronto Raptors. Bradley Beal with 28 points. And the Dallas Mavericks go down to the Houston Rockets 99 or 111-99. And, man, Dwight Howard goes off, 28 points, a ton of dunks. Big story from that game last night was him and Josh Smith. For people that don't know the story, Josh Smith and Dwight Howard actually played basketball together as youth here in Metro Atlanta, on the Atlanta Celtics, I think they were called. And so they're friends. So they've known each other for a very, very long time. And they've got like this connection, this playground type connection that came out last night in a big ass way. Like Josh Smith threw up like 3-4 alley-oop dunks to Dwight Howard, man. So just fantastic, exciting basketball. And it's funny, though, these two guys are like one and the same. Like, I don't know what happened when they were playing basketball as youth. I don't know how they were raised. I don't know who the hell is responsible for their, a lot of times, selfish attitudes. And speaking of Josh Smith, he made some great plays in the alley-oop dunks to Dwight Howard, but he also shot like 3 or 4 air balls in this game, man. Absolutely incredible. So you get the good and you get the bad with Josh Smith. But, yeah, these guys both seem to me like the new age basketball player, the new age athlete, where it seems like that they're, kind of meme guys, kind of selfish, don't have the tremendous skill set, the great skill set that players used to have back in the day. I mean, neither one of these guys got fantastic offensive game. They're just dominant athletically, if you feel me on what I'm saying. Josh Smith is just such a great athlete. You remember Josh Smith won the slam dunk contest. He was a fantastic player even as a rookie in the NBA just because he was just athletically gifted. Same thing with Dwight Howard. Just athletically gifted. Dwight Howard, in this case, is much bigger than everybody else, and so he overpowers a lot of people. But their skills are really lacking, man. They are. And I know that a lot of Atlanta people, I mean, they always try to take up for Josh Smith and Dwight Howard. But, I mean, I got to keep it real. You know I'm not a Dwight Howard fan. It's a long-standing beef. But, yeah, these guys, man, I mean, incredible. And they're both on the same team right now, which is ironic, which tells me that they aren't going to win an NBA championship this year. They're just not. There's no team with a nucleus of Josh Smith and Dwight Howard that are going to win an NBA championship. Now, they got the guy that might win the MVP award this year, and I would give it to James Harden at this point. But I don't think that's going to be enough, man. You got too much negative with those two guys on your squad with the selfish type play and the lack of offensive skill. These guys have been in the league a long, long time, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Josh Smith and Dwight Howard, in effect, are like veterans of the NBA right now, and I swear to you, their offensive games aren't any better than when they were rookies in the NBA. Yeah, the studio audience agrees with me. So, yeah, they're from Atlanta. As a matter of fact, Josh Smith is actually from Powder Springs area in Metro Atlanta. And these guys, man, I'm just not a fan of these guys at all. What are your thoughts? 404-382-0338. Cleveland goes off last night once again. Kyrie Irving plays fantastic, and it's great and it's interesting because the question coming into this series with the Cleveland Cavaliers is their youth. Outside of LeBron James, the youth of this basketball team, will they be able to step up in the playoffs? Because the playoffs are totally different, let's be honest, are totally different than the regular season. And Kyrie Irving, even Kevin Love has a pretty decent game last night with 13 points. Kyrie Irving goes for 26 points last night. And they look good. They look like they belong. And I would believe that a lot of it has to do with the fact that you have the greatest basketball player in the world right now on your team in LeBron James, and he's much more of a leader more so than anybody else in that team, even though he doesn't technically play the point guard position. But, yeah, they look fine. They look fine. They look like a team that can win an NBA championship because they have all the pieces. And I mentioned it earlier in the first segment of the show. One of the main ingredients of why I don't believe the Atlanta Hawks will win an NBA championship because they just don't have a go-to superstar. And that matters in the playoffs. That really does matter in the playoffs. We've seen that time and time again. And LeBron James, man, with his playoff experience, pretty much been to the playoffs his entire career, every single season of his NBA career. This guy just has tremendous experience, knows exactly what it takes to win an NBA championship after winning 2 in Miami. Speaking of which, we're going to talk about some disparaging comments made from Pat Riley, he gets a Buster Award. I'm nominating his ass for a Buster Award and a Boyle Penis Award. We'll talk about that later. But this guy has been through all of the battles, been through all of the wars, has stumbled, has gotten up, and has won NBA championships. And I just think that's just huge. And that's probably one of the reasons why most people think that they might win an NBA championship this year. 404-382-0338 is the number to the show. This is the Doug Stewart Show, the realest, trillest sports talk show in America. The most fun sports talk show in America. And the top 5 today is the top 5 most influential rappers / rap groups of all times. All right, that's what we're talking about today. All in honor, kind of, I guess, and continuing the conversation yesterday of the great P.E., Public Enemy, and the fact that they were the tribute group on yesterday. All right, 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedugstewartshow.com. But once again, the chat is the way to go. And I'm going to jump in the chat room when we get back and read some of your thoughts. Some of those chat posts out there talking NBA playoffs. We got to get into this conversation about the NFL and the new schedule coming out last night. So whether it's top 5 most influential rap artist groups of all time, the NBA playoffs, Dwight Howard, Josh Smith, whatever it may be, just hit me up in the chat room on Spreaker.com and I'll get to a lot of your comments. All right? Yeah. So I watched, when we get back, I also got to get Tree on to talk a little bit about this Daredevil thing. I watched 3 episodes yesterday, and yes, I like it. Great storyline. All right, so don't go anywhere. When we get back, we're going to talk some birthdays, and then I'll get into some of your chat. All right? Sports Talk with Hot Sauce, Texas Pete Hot Sauce. This is the Doug Stewart Show. First of all, thank you for listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Now, if you've been listening for a while, you know that we've grown exponentially over the first couple of months. Whether that's listens, whether that's followers, we're blowing up, and you can be a part of it. If you have a company out there and you like to promote on the Doug Stewart Show, we'd love to partner with you. Here's what you do. Email me at doug@thedugstewartshow.com. Once again, that's doug@thedugstewartshow.com. Whether that's locally, regionally, or nationally, we can get the word out. What you're talking about is middle-aged dudes that love sports and love exciting sports talk. Once again, email me at doug@thedugstewartshow.com. That's doug@thedugstewartshow.com, and we will put you out there. All right? That's doug@thedugstewartshow.com. Let's do some business. Yes!
The best of the Doug Stewart Show.
Now, 2 things, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. First of all, you're going to have us to believe, Shayana Jenkins, you're going to have us to believe that you, a black woman, didn't look inside of this damn box. That's a lie. And then the second big part of this whole thing is you, Come on, Tree. What black woman you know in America is going to be told to do something nefarious sounding like that and not take a peek inside the damn box?
You better stop.
You stop. And the second thing Shayana's going to have us to believe is that you took this box that you didn't look in, and you being a black woman, you took this box and don't know where you dumped it at? You discarded this secret box and don't know where? Come on, man. Come on, man. And another thing about black women, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, and I'm an expert on black women. All of the black women I know, and I've had this conversation about, about this Aaron Hernandez trial, and what do you think that his girlfriend's going to do when she testifies, this, that, and the other. Everybody that I talk to, and I kind of get the feeling from talking to black women that they ain't trying to do no time for nobody. Yes.
Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to noon Eastern. The Doug Stewart Show. Sports talk. Straight. No chaser.
This your boy Doug Stewart for my folks at System 5 Electronics. They're proud to offer my listeners here in the Metro Atlanta area all the way down to Macon, Georgia, the most affordable home security monitoring systems, featuring smart solutions for that busy lifestyle you lead for as low as $16.50 per month. Here's some of the reasons why you should choose System 5.
Hi, I'm Maceo Brown, President and CEO of System 5 Electronics. We take pride in making sure that security is the number one thing that we do. And thanks to you, the customer that has supported us, we have grown this company in Southwest Atlanta, where we're creating jobs and opportunities.
Not only is their monitoring station here in Atlanta, but they also install the most advanced, up-to-date alarm systems where you can access cameras, lights, door locks, thermostats, and other devices remotely with your smartphone. 24/7 technical support, plus the lowest service call fees in the business. And check this, you own the security alarm system once it's installed. And you get direct access to the owner if you ever got a problem, Mr. Maceo Brown. Click on the banner on the Doug Stewart Show website or app for more details, or give them a call at 404-756-0736. Again, that's 404-756-0736, or online at System5ElectronicsInc.com. That's System5ElectronicsInc.com. Welcome back to the Doug Stewart Show. Coming in at number 4 on my list of most influential hip-hop artists / groups of all time is the great Public Enemy. Yes, sir. I mean, what can you say about Public Enemy that we didn't say yesterday? Which we did say a lot of it on yesterday. But, man, I guess one of the forefathers of conscious rap. And there's a lot of conscious rappers out there back during the era that I came up, obviously. When you talk about KRS-One, you talk about X-Clan, but Public Enemy is right there on top. I guess out of all of those conscious rappers, Public Enemy probably has, and still has to this day, the biggest brand of them all. You remember everybody was wearing those African medallions back during the late 80s, early 90s. Public Enemy, you remember in one of the videos, who was it? It was the Brothers Gonna Work It Out. It wasn't Brothers Gonna Work It Out. It was the Do the Right Thing video, the Welcome to the Terror Dome video. That Public Enemy wore those African medallions. Everybody in America, every black youth in young America was wearing those back in the day. First ones to do a soundtrack to a movie entirely for He Got Game. All of the stuff we hit yesterday in talking about Public Enemy. And you know about their prominent role as far as the music and Do the Right Thing once again. So Public Enemy, man, just stands the test of time. They came to Atlanta a couple of years ago. This was probably 2008, maybe 2009, because I remember us talking about it on the 2 Live Stews. And I went to the concert, man, sold out, and they did their damn thing. So shouts out, man, and coming in at number 4 on my list of top 5 most influential hip-hop artists / groups of all time is the great P.E. Yes, sir. 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Happy birthday to my man William Mack, Stewie in the chat room. Happy birthday, William Mack. Happy birthday to William Mack. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday.
And then
I'm sorry?
Happy turned to something else.
Yeah.
Why you got to sing?
Whatever, Tree. I mean, don't hate the player. Hate the game. Happy birthday to Marshawn Lynch. Oh, that was Tree, if you're new to the show. That magical voice you just heard pop onto the microphone was Tree, the producer for the Doug Stewart Show, who I love very dearly. Thank you very much, Tree. But nobody asked for your opinion on that particular case. Marshawn Lynch, he turns 29 years old today. Beast mode. Have we ever done a top 5? I think we have. I think we have done a top 5 nicknames in sports, maybe the NFL as well. So Beast Mode turns 29 years old today. Kenny Stills turns 23 years old, wide receiver for the Miami Dolphins. Jack Nicholson turns 78. Happy birthday to Jack. You can't handle the truth.
You kind of remind me of him. Like,
of Jack Nicholson? In what way?
Black.
In what way?
Well, you have a love for like psychopath type behavior.
In which way? What are you talking about, Tree?
And he's grandiose, and you're the black version.
That's funny. Just because I like the series Dexter doesn't mean I like psychopaths, Tree.
No, you could play the Joker. I could see you all up in that character.
I could definitely play the Joker.
Mm-hmm.
Wait till they get a load of me. That was good. That was good. I just did that on the spot. Wait till they get a load of me. All right, DJ Drama is 37 years old, man. Legendary DJ, Gangsta Grills here in the ATL. I think he's based here in Atlanta. I think he lives here in Atlanta. Obviously did a ton of mixtapes back in the day when mixtapes were popular. DJ for T.I. here in Atlanta. So shouts out to DJ Drama, who turns 37 years old today. Charlotte Ray. You know who Charlotte Ray is? Miss Garrett. That's right. Miss Garrett is 89 years old today. Why did I think she was dead? Oh, I used to love Facts of Life with Tootie when she had the big old tatas. Tootie had the big old tatas. Didn't Tootie have like a breast reduction? And Tree, jump on the mic for a second. And
yes.
I'm calling her Tootie like that's her real name. Kim Fields. Didn't Kim Fields have the breast reduction surgery?
Yes.
Oh,
you
man.
know Kim Fields' mama was Penny's mama, beating her and putting cigarettes out on her.
Yeah. In the Good Times episode with Janet Jackson.
Yes.
Penny, yeah. That was her real mother. That's her real mother. Kim Fields' real mother that played Janet Jackson's mother in Good Times. Yeah. So happy birthday to all of them. I thought Mrs. Garrett was dead. Charlotte Ray. I thought she was dead as a doornail, but I'm glad she's still around. Happy birthday to Charlotte Ray. Happy birthday. 404-382-0338 is the number to the show. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. From Ronald Cameron, RC's top 5 influential rap artists of all time. He's got number 1 at PE, number 2 at Run DMC, number 3 Flash and the Furious 5, number 4 Tupac, and number 5 NWA. You pretty much got the bulk of my list. Keep listening, and you'll hear 3 through 1. From Griff, top 5, Run DMC, helped rap crossover with Walk This Way by Aerosmith. NWA introduced West Coast rap to the world. PE brought out political, conscious hip-hop in the 80s. We all on the same page, man. That's why I love the Stewies. I mean, y'all are true historians. Historians of the arts. Of hip-hop, man. 3-6 Mafia. Wait a minute. Let me see this. This is kind of 3-6 Mafia, originators of crunk and horrorcore rap. Yeah, I don't think they get on my list with horrorcore rap. But let me tell you a quick story. And I know exactly what you mean with the phrase, with the term horrorcore rap. I mentioned before that back in the mid-'90s, me and a couple of my friends started this independent, and I'm doing in quotation marks in the air. We started a little independent record group, record label back in the mid-'90s, and one of the groups was from the Memphis area. And their music sounded a lot, and the beats sounded a lot like 8-Ball and and 3-6 Mafia in particular. And that horrorcore, and it's hard to explain, and maybe I'll try to find a version of what I would consider horrorcore rap, but that's really not a term really prevalent out there, and I don't think you could put it up there in the annals of just game changers and influential as a whole to the rap genre. But I definitely get what you're saying, but I can't put them on my list. 2 Live Crew, one of the pioneers of Southern rap. Okay. From Vince Wright. Curtis Blow was an original also. From King Kane, most influential. What does he have? Tupac at number 1. Public Enemy at number 2. NWA at number 3. Outkast at number 4. Outkast. I could see that. I can tell you right now, they aren't on my list. They're on my honorable mention list. And I guess the reason why you would say Outkast is because Outkast is the biggest rap group, artist, as a duo, I guess, in Atlanta, probably of all time, national-wise as well. And so, the hip-hop culture in Atlanta is just tremendous. It's just big. Right after New York, I'd probably put Atlanta right now. I don't know. It's probably a coin toss between L.A. and Atlanta as far as relevancy in the industry and the genre right now. It's a coin toss, and Outkast is at the forefront of that. And he has number 5, Sugar Hill Gang, obviously for Rapper's Delight being the first really commercial song that hit. Probably 95% of the country was introduced to rap from the single Rapper's Delight from Sugar Hill Gang. So I feel your list, King King. From J.B. Jennings, NWA, Fatboy McCoon. I bet Seth low-key jealous. He ain't done ish. I don't even know what the hell that means. Stagger Lee, DJ Paul, Juicy J, Gangsta Boo, Crunchy Black, 3-6 Mafia. We're talking about influential. They aren't really that influential. From Leon, Hawks coming up short, y'all. I'm sorry. From Scotty, mark my words, Golden State will be back to life, back to reality next season. The players that were out to prove that Mark Jackson wasn't the only reason they were successful last year. From Stagger Lee, why did my meeting time change to 10 a.m.? Damn, got to make the donuts. Peace. You better get that money, Stagger Lee. I mean, thank you for patronizing the Doug Stewart Show. I really appreciate it, but you better get your money. Simple as that. From Quaza. I still drink gin and juice because of Snoop. That's funny. A little trip that I had this past weekend with my line brothers. This fool walks in here. I'm one of my line brothers, Henry Graham. Shouts out to you, Graham. Honey Graham. He walks in a room with 2 bottles of Tanqueray. I'm like, Ninja, you still drink Tanqueray? I mean, no disrespect to the great Tanqueray, but brothers stopped drinking Tanqueray like 15, 20 years ago. And we drank all of that damn Tanqueray. 2 bottles. You know the green bottles of Tanqueray? Yeah. I say we, but they did. I didn't drink it. I haven't drank gin probably, and this is the goddess honest truth. I haven't drunk gin since 1990. No, I'm going to take that back. I'm going to say probably 97. Throughout the era, or that little stretch like my man just said on the chat message, during that little era where Snoop had the song out, Gin and Juice, I think that's probably the last time. I don't remember what years that was, probably like 97, maybe 98. And then, subsequently after that, I stopped because I had stopped drinking gin for a couple of years in the early 90s because me and a couple of my friends in the dorm, okay, this was 1989. I remember it now. This was 1989. We shot, and I'm talking about 4 people. And I don't know how I survived this. We shot a half a gallon of Seagram's gin, a.k.a. Bumpy Head. Yeah. Bumpy. We shot that. And I'm not proud of it. And it's incredible that we didn't all get alcohol poisoning. But, yeah, a half a G. And that can't be right because we'd be dead. Maybe it was more than 4 of us. What I think what it was we were in the room, in the dorm, playing cards. There was a lot of, how dudes sit around, watch people play spades or whatever. So I think it was probably more than just 4 of us that drank a whole half a gallon of Bumpy. Naughty Head, they call it. Yeah, that's crazy. Unbelievable. Kids, don't do what I do. Don't do what I did. Don't. Lord have mercy. I had that taste in my mouth for weeks. In the back of my throat. Wait, that didn't sound right. All right, we get back from the break, man. The NFL schedule was released last night. We'll talk about it. Yeah, and give you some of the highlights of said schedule. Don't go away. This is the Doug Stewart Show. System 5 Electronics is proud to offer my listeners in the Atlanta area the most affordable home security monitoring systems, featuring smart solutions for your busy lifestyle for as low as $16.50 per month. Here's just a few reasons to choose System 5. Not only is their monitoring station located here in Atlanta, but they also install the most advanced, up-to-date alarm systems where you can access cameras, lights, door locks, thermostats, and other devices remotely with your smartphone. 24/7 technical support, plus the lowest service call fees in the business. And check this, you own your security alarm system once it's installed. Not only have they been around for almost 25 years, but their customer service is excellent. And you get direct access to the owner, Mr. Maceo Brown, to resolve any issues with your alarm system. Click on the banner on the Doug Stewart Show website or app for more details, or give them a call at 404-756-0736. Again, that's 404-756-0736. And make sure and tell them the Doug Stewart Show sent you. Yes. This is your boy Doug Stewart, one half of the Two Live Stews. Check out my brand new daily show and podcast that airs live Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. on Spreaker.com. That's the Doug Stewart Show daily at 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern Time, live on Spreaker.com. Or check out the podcast anytime, 24/7. If you're not stewing, what in the world are you doing? This is your folk, Doug Stewart. Want to protect you and your family from life's unexpected mishaps? Then join 7. Join 7 is a prepaid legal company under the umbrella of the Protection Group. Join 7 is the only group benefit or motor club in the U.S. that offers auto reimbursement coverage, key replacement coverage, roadside assistance, gives you a current Medi-file, prescription savings, and fully encompassed prepaid legal benefits that include identity theft. They got your back. The average combined cost to purchase these benefits individually is over $850 a year. Join today and take advantage of all 7 for $17 a month. They've been around for over 20 years, so check them out by clicking on the banner link on my page, thedougstewartshow.com, or the app. Just go ahead and join 7. Welcome back to the Doug Stewart Show. You can't see me. The realest, trillest sports talk show in America, guy talk show in America. You heard it in the background. Tupac's You Can't See Me. Coming in at number 3 on my list of top 5 most influential hip-hop artists of all times is the great Tupac Shakur. Yes, sir. And for obvious reasons, once again, as I mentioned earlier, with Biggie Smalls being the front man, the lead artist on Bad Boy Records, is the same reason that I have Tupac Shakur on my list as most influential hip-hop artists of all times. Obviously, the lead guy, the big name on Death Row Records, which, once again, obviously took it from the East Coast to the West Coast as far as dominance and power of the label and the music, and where it ranked in the hierarchy of the genre during that time. So the lead guy was Tupac Shakur. And not only that, man, even in his death, the guy continues to come out with new music seemingly every other month, every other year. It slowed down a lot from when the first couple of months and the first couple of years after he was killed. But my gosh, just a tremendous catalog of music. You could put him in the category of a conscious rapper as well. He always talked about this thug life thing too. But Tupac was like a visionary. Like a lot of the stuff you go back and listen to from that dude has come to fruition, 10, 15, 20 years later. And a lot of people always believe that Pac would have been some type of maybe even a civil rights leader or some type of political leader later on in his life when he calmed down a little bit. Dude was just a genius. Dude was a genius. He's almost like the Bob Marley of hip-hop. Whereas you remember when Bob Marley died and everybody and still to this day, and the same thing for Tupac, everybody always has this Bob Marley, wear these Bob Marley shirts with the picture of Bob Marley in the front. Same thing with Tupac Shakur. Like his reputation and his legend has grown even so much more after his death than even when he was on Earth. So coming in at number 3 on my list is the great Tupac Shakur, the most influential hip-hop artist of all times. So the NFL schedule came out last night, man, and a couple of games in particular of note that I'm going to throw out there and talk about, man, and want to get your thoughts on it as well. The number is 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. But once again, the easy way to be totally interactive is in the chat room on Spreaker.com. Make sure you download the Doug Stewart Show app from Spreaker or from my website, thedougstewartshow.com, from iTunes. From the App Store. And also make sure you download the Spreaker app. You need to have both of them. All right, you don't need to have just one. You need to have both of them on your phone. It's a long story on why logistically you need to have both of them just in case there's an issue with the other one. You get me? So make sure you do that. But so it came out last night that the NFL schedule came out, and one game in particular, September 14th, the Philadelphia Eagles with Chip Kelly and all of the shenanigans going on with that organization and with that team, and trading players, cutting players, signing Tim Tebow's of the world. The Philadelphia Eagles travel to the ATL, man. The first Monday night football game of the year. That's a tremendous honor. So the Falcons still got a little bit of cachet because you don't want to put just anybody on the first marquee game of Monday night. So I was proud to hear about that. That's a big thing, obviously. That's a tremendous thing. Also, the New England Patriots will begin the defense of their Super Bowl title against the Pittsburgh Steelers on September 10th. That's a big one. Steelers and the Patriots. Obviously, that's a huge one. On Thursday night, another date of interest is the Chicago Bears are going to be hosting or being hosted by the Green Bay Packers. And on that particular game, we're talking about Thanksgiving Day. On that particular game, the Packers are going to retire Brett Favre's number, his number 4. So that's going to be a big game as well. And then on Thanksgiving Day as well, so you got Packers and you got Bears, but also on Thanksgiving Day, you know good and well the Detroit Lions and the Dallas Cowboys are going to play. So Dallas and Detroit will continue their traditions of hosting games on Thanksgiving. The Cowboys are going to be facing the Carolina Panthers, as well as the Lions are going to take on the Eagles as well. So that's Thanksgiving Day. Love Thanksgiving Day football. It's a tradition, shawty. Panthers going to be making their first appearance on Thanksgiving Day football, so that's going to be big for that city and for their brand as well. So those are a couple of the matchups. Also, a revamped roster, obviously, for the Philadelphia Eagles are going to open their season in the first game, as I mentioned, against Atlanta. While the Minnesota Vikings on that same night, you know they always do the double Monday night games. Usually they'll do an East Coast game and they'll do a West Coast game. On the West Coast that night, the Minnesota Vikings are going to take on the San Francisco 49ers. So later on that night, West Coast game, 49ers, Vikings. Earlier that night, man, Falcons and Eagles. And I can't wait. Yes, sir. And one little side note, which I don't like where and how this is headed, but they've got, for the first time in NFL history, 3 games in London. Yes. 3 games are going to be played in London. And I guess it really doesn't affect me. It doesn't bother me. And maybe it's just selfishly, I feel like that the NFL and football is our sport. You know, when I say our, I'm talking about America, Jack. And it seems like they're trying to expand, and I guess technically that's a good thing. You're trying to expand the brand of the NFL and football, and you're opening up new marketing streams abroad. I guess that's a good thing. And I guess, well, once again, I'm just selfish. But they're going to play 3 games in London this year. You got the Jets versus the Dolphins on October 4th. You got the Bills versus the Jaguars on October 25th. And the Lions and the Chiefs on November 1st. So the NFL is expanding, going abroad. And I guess there's nothing we can do to stop it. There's nothing we can do to stop it, man. Absolutely nothing we can do to stop it. 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. From Vince Wright, Beastie Boys, Houdini, Eric B., and Rakim. Orrin Williams, Ghetto Boys, need a spot. Luke really changed. See, Ghetto Boys, and this is kind of what I was talking about earlier with somebody that sent in the post on 3-6 Mafia. I mean, they deserve a spot in the annals and the history of hip-hop. Like, if there was a time machine and you could put 100 things in this said time machine, one of the things, a hip-hop time machine, one of the things out of the 100 things that you could put in this time machine would be a 3-6 Mafia CD cover. And maybe a Beastie Boys cover or something like that, or Ghetto Boys, maybe they would fit into that. But we're talking top 5. You know, Ghetto Boys, the Ghetto Boys, and 3-6 Mafia, they can't get in the top 5, shawty. They just can't. I know. I wish the top 5 was the top 100, but it's not.
That's his list, though.
Yeah, that's his list. But, I mean, I don't know how you could put 3-6 Mafia in a list of top 5 when I'm talking about some of the, historical, artists and groups of all times.
He might be a greenhorn.
He's probably a greenhorn. He's definitely a greenhorn, which for people that don't know, a greenhorn is just a youngin'. From Fatboy McCoon, Rondo going to the Lakers next year. Yeah, I heard some conversation about that today as well. Not happy, pulled last night. Rick Carlisle put in J.J. Barrera, who had a pretty decent game, over Rajon Rondo. That's crazy. We'll take him in L.A. We won't take Rondo in L.A. Now, he does have a badass attitude. He does. That kind of alarms me, but I don't care. I mean, we need so much right now that I'll take anything. And if we can get Rajon Rondo in L.A., I'll be a happy camper. From Eugene Jackson, Rondo, you quit on Dallas. Your teammates, your coach, and your owner. Unbelievable. I'm not going to go all out and say he quit, but he really didn't look like he wanted to be out there. And I don't know what's going on behind the scenes with him and Carlisle right now at this point, but last night was not a good look. But I think that once again, his reputation is so good right now as being one of the best point guards, one of the best floor generals in basketball. I think he'll be fine. I don't think that he's not going to get a job anywhere. And once again, as I just said, I'd love to have him in L.A. with a fresh slate. Whatever, man. We don't care about your little issues that you had in Dallas. We hurt so much right now that we'll take you. From J-Rob, Josh Smith and Dwight ain't got no low post moves. 0. From Eddie Mo 2.0, top 5 influential. Let me look at your list. PE, number 1. NWA, number 3. Outkast, number 3, Master P, number 4. And Jermaine Dupri, number 5. You a freaking Atlanta greenhorn.
Jermaine Dupri?
Yeah. I mean, bless your heart, Eddie Mo 2.0.
Oh.
Bless your heart.
Don't do that.
Once again, Jermaine Dupri and Master P. Master P is up there. Master P is definitely up there. But he doesn't get in the top 5. I mean, think about it. Master P is the biggest artist to come out of New Orleans, or was the first artist to come out of New Orleans with major prominence. And then subsequently you had, the Hot Boys and Cash Money Records. And I always get it confused. I can't remember which one was first. But let's put it like this. The biggest artist who had the biggest name out of New Orleans first was Master P. And then his whole marketing strategies of promoting one album and promoting the next album and the album. And he's done a lot. He's had a lot of input in the success of hip-hop, man, in the brand of hip-hop. But he can't go in the top 5, man. He just can't. Master P. Yeah, all right, when we get back from the break, man, look at that, man. It's already hour number 2 of the Doug Stewart Show. Damn it! Don't go away. We'll continue. The wait is finally over. Baseball season is here at last, and the excitement continues all season long at DraftKings.com, the official daily fantasy partner of Major League Baseball. Daily fantasy means no season-long commitments, just instant cash, instant gratification. Why wait until the end of the season to claim victory when you can win huge cash every day? At DraftKings, it's like a brand new season every time you play. Just select 2 pitchers and 8 position players, stay under the salary cap, and you could be on your way to an enormous payday. Last year, Peter from Colorado won $1 million at DraftKings in one day, just playing fantasy baseball. Hundreds of thousands of fantasy sports fans just like you have already cashed in at DraftKings. Now it's your turn. Hurry to DraftKings.com now and enter promo code SPREAKER to play for free. You could win part of $300 million in prizes being awarded this season. Use promo code SPREAKER for free entry now at DraftKings.com. DraftKings.com, that's DraftKings.com.
The best of the Doug Stewart Show.
And we're getting a lot of chat because Tree made a comment and used the term have sex raw. And just like you cavemen dudes that listen to this show, y'all eating that up.
If you're going to say it right. It's ride raw.
Ooh. Okay, see that, Tree? You can't do that. William Mack, I'm torn on whether or not to nominate Dwight Howard for garnishing his baby mama's bank account for violating a gag order. She was wrong for mentioning his name on that bootleg show, but come on, man. That's the mother of your child? Yeah, and I read the story, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. And it does seem very petty. Dwight's got $1 gazillion, and this chick clearly is just trying to keep her name relevant so that she can continue to get roles on reality shows.
I mean, we talked about this before, and you all jumped on the woman when she ain't trying to work. She's trying to work. Okay.
But she broke the rule. She broke the agreement, Tree. She can get a job. I mean, I guess it'd be less. It'd be harder for her to get a job if she doesn't intermingle Dwight Howard conversation into the talk.
What kind of job can she get that's going to accommodate the lifestyle that he created for her?
Oh, here you go.
Hey, welcome to Chick-fil-A.
What Chick-fil-A it is then? She not attached to dude anymore.
She is forever attached to dude because she rode raw.
Okay, now you really just playing with the people in the chat room and the listeners' emotions. Okay, you know they just pervs like that and they like to hear you talk dirty. You didn't have to go there again 3 times a day on the show.
Yes, you once, twice, 3 times a lady.
Sports Talk. Straight, no chaser.
What is 911 Tax Relief? It's a tax relief company that can help you reduce or remove your IRS or state tax debt. They'll help stop bank levies and wage garnishments by implementing offers in compromise or penalty abatements. 911 Tax Relief is a tax relief company, but they're different from the others. Their experts are licensed, enrolled tax agents, and they also have more than 12 years' experience helping people solve their tax problems. They're a tax relief company that understands how the IRS works, and they'll also put that knowledge to work for you, so they can get you the best possible settlement or solution to your tax problems. Highly rated by the Better Business Bureau, and they've helped thousands of people solve their tax problems. So, don't play around. Click on their link on my website and let 911 Tax Relief help you in your situation with Uncle Sam. If you're not stewing, what the hell are you doing? This is the Doug Stewart Show, hour number 2. Yes, sir. Man, a day like today is where we gotta figure out a way to have this third hour. Speaking of which, if you like to partner with the Doug Stewart Show, we'd love to partner with you, man. Yes. We need to get this third hour. We're going to start a campaign for a third hour because there's so much stuff I got to get into, man. I got to get into this RG3 Tom Brady story. I got to get into this Warren Sapp observation that I made last night. It really just hit me about this Warren Sapp video. We got to talk about that. We got to get into this boxing conversation, which is real hot and heavy on my social networks. But if you're a company out there and you like to partner with the Doug Stewart Show, we'd love to partner with you, okay? We got a fantastic thing going on here, man. The show is growing by leaps and bounds every single day. We got a ton of listeners. We got over 5,000 followers. Soon going to be 6,000, over 100,000 listens. And this is sports talk and guy talk like you won't hear anywhere else, shawty. So we got a great product. So if you like to partner with the Doug Stewart Show and talk about some of the options and some of the packages out there, we're talking, small, promotional partnerships to big-ass ones, okay? From little to small, we can find a way to make it work. And so email me at doug@thedugstewartshow.com, and what'll happen is we'll have one of our salespeople get in contact with you, and we will do some business. I want to read more of this chat. We're also talking about the top 5 most influential. And I'm seeing a lot of this in the chat. And I've been reading the chat, and folks got 3-6 Mafia and Jermaine Dupri. No, listen to me. Listen to me. Back up, okay? Listen. Listen to the question, or to the title. Top 5 most influential rappers / rap groups of all times. And we're saying all times. So first of all, we're talking influential and who has a lasting legacy of some sort to the industry, of all time. And folks been rapping for over 40 years now. So of all times, okay, not just the last 10 years, not just somebody that you like from your neighborhood, from your city. No, of all time in influential. We're not talking rappers. We're not talking lyricists today. We're not talking anything like that. It's influential, who had a tremendous mark on the genre. Okay, so this is big. And so what that means is it's only 5. It's not 100. It's only 5. So 3-6 Mafia can't get into this list. They can't get into the list, over Public Enemy. They just can't. 404-382-0338 is the number to the show. Let me read more of this chat. You can hit me in the chat room on Spreaker.com. From Nino the Rhino, he says, Rick Carlisle thinks he created basketball. Yeah, I kind of get that too. I do believe Rondo does have a bad attitude. He had a bad attitude in Boston, and him and Doc Rivers really made it work, which is crazy because Rondo wasn't really highly touted when he came out of Kentucky. He was a good basketball player, but he's really made himself a bigger name in the NBA than I thought he'd ever be. But that being said, yeah, I agree, man. Rick Carlisle, his attitude, he comes off as if, it's my way or the highway. And then when you're talking about an established veteran like Rondo, man, I probably would feel some type of way about that. So I'm not going to give total responsibility to the problems with Carlisle and Rondo. I'm not going to put it all on Rondo. From Vince Wright, Rondo has a bad attitude. He better figure it out or he'll be in Europe soon. I said this last segment. Rondo not going to be in Europe. Trust me on that. Fred Mack, Josh Smith, shoot it, shawty. I was talking about Josh Smith a little bit earlier, and him and Dwight Howard, man, and that whole story. That's a story I've told many, many times before about Josh Smith's dad, quote unquote, telling him just to keep shooting it. Josh shot like 3 air balls last night. He shot like 3 air balls last night, and that's why we were so pissed off at this dude when he was in Atlanta, because his shot selection might have been the worst shot selection in the history of basketball, or is right now still. Fat Boy McCoon, I remember I thought Dwight Howard was going to be a beast. Seeing him at SWAC go against Carver one year, could never get a post game. Scotty, Rondo hated being traded to Dallas. That ninja, don't get the Dwight and Josh hate. Real people music. It's not hate. It's not hate on Josh and Dwight. It's just an observation. Their attitude seems to be very selfish. It seems to be. That's really speculative on my part. They have not worked on their offensive games. They haven't gotten any better. The shot selection is horrible. Dwight Howard has no low post moves to even discuss. All of that's true. Those are just observations and statements. It's not hate. Real people music. How you not into it in the playoffs talking about Rondo? Jungle Brother, come on, Doug. You hate now. 9 for life. Clarkson is real. Who else stays with the Lakers, and will Kevin Love join Rondo? Oh, I would love for Kevin Love to join Rondo in L.A. Then you'd have a slight issue, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. You'd have a slight issue about, what you do with Julius Randle, who in effect plays the same position as Kevin Love. But I think they'd work it out. And maybe it'd be a situation where they do some type of trade for Julius Randle. And we have seen with what happened this year with Wiggins being traded, your number one pick or a very high draft pick being traded, which is something you never usually see. But, yeah, that type of stuff happens these days. And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. So I'm not saying it won't happen again, maybe with a situation like that if it came down to Kevin Love or Julius Randle. From Scotty, X-Clan should be on the list too. No, man, no. X-Clan can't be on the list. They can't be on the list. From Jungle Brother. Number 4, Doug. Number 4, I had Public Enemy. Yeah, because I've got some groups and artists that I think are more relevant and more influential in hip-hop history than I do Public Enemy. Hell, Public Enemy is number 4. Y'all ninjas, nothing don't make y'all happy. Damn. Damn, Gina. You got Public Enemy at number 4. Y'all mad. It's been like a gazillion rap artists and groups out there in the history of the world since like 1973. And you mad, Jungle? Damn, Jungle. From 2016, Dane. Or 216 Dane, I'm sorry, sir. All of Puffy hits were sampled. J-Rob, wow, P.E. at number 4, Doug. He said the same thing as Jungle Brother said. Stringer, everybody hates LeBron after he leaves. The Cleveland owners took shots, not Pat is taking shots. Yeah, let me quickly talk about that story. You're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. So, Pat Riley, the Miami Heat president, he took like this, and I'm going to call it very thinly veiled shot at LeBron James on Monday, telling reporters, no more smiling faces with hidden agendas in the Heat's organization that could affect his approach to the draft and free agency in this offseason. And I heard that statement. I'm like, what? Now, LeBron James, when he was asked about the comments, he says, quote, I'm unaware. Whatever he said for me, it's not my concern right now. My concern is game 2. I have no notion of what transpired on yesterday. This thing happened on Monday. Pat Riley made these comments on Monday, and LeBron James responded to it yesterday. And once again, man, kudos to LeBron James for being the bigger man. I mean, kudos to him. And this is why I really hate it when athletes, I hate it when athletes are always talked down upon as far as being greedy and, not having any loyalty. There's no loyalty in this game. And I'm talking this game in general, talking about sports in general. There's no loyalty. The man won the Miami Heat, in effect, 2 championships. And this is how Pat Riley does him? This is what Pat Riley says? I mean, that's blasphemous, man. It's just blasphemous. And Pat Riley said some things about LeBron James after he left as well, which is crazy because Pat Riley convinced LeBron James to leave Cleveland. Okay? And so he's mad that this guy left to go back home to Cleveland. It's just and obviously I'm a Pat Riley fan, man, but that's just blasphemous to act like that, man, and act like a little bitch. And that's exactly what Pat Riley's acting like with these comments talking about LeBron James. Unbelievable, man. The man single-handedly, if there's no LeBron James, Dwayne Wade ain't winning no championships at that point in his career. He had already started to side to lose some of his skills. He wasn't the same guy when Shaq was there when they won the championship or whatever. So LeBron won the damn championship. Let's keep it real. And this is how Pat Riley, conducts himself. I mean, that's just not professional at all, man. Very disappointed in Pat Riley. That's bootleg. All right, we get back from the break, man. I'm going to tell you my number 2 most influential hip-hop artist / group of all times. All right? The mark that they made on the genre, on the industry. That's what we're talking about. Okay? So we'll do that when we get back. I'll continue to read your trivia and your chat. And then at some point, man, I got to talk about Warren Sapp. I figured something out last night that we didn't even get into yesterday, and we talked about it. Don't go away. The Doug Stewart Show. What is 911 Tax Relief? It's a tax relief company that can help you reduce or remove your IRS or state tax debt. They'll help stop bank levies and wage garnishments by implementing offers and compromise or penalty abatements. 911 Tax Relief is a tax relief company, but they're different from the others. Their experts are licensed, enrolled tax agents, and they also have more than 12 years' experience helping people solve their tax problems. They're a tax relief company that understands how the IRS works, and they'll also put that knowledge to work for you, so they can get you the best possible settlement or solution to your tax problems. Highly rated by the Better Business Bureau, and they've helped thousands of people solve their tax problems. So, don't play around. Click on their link on my website and let 911 Tax Relief help you in your situation with Uncle Sam.
The best of the Doug Stewart Show.
So, I'm probably 6. So, Jesse Bryant rolls by, and I remember it like it was yesterday. He rolls by in his truck, and for some reason, something in my mind says, pick up a rock and throw it at Jesse. And I hit his truck. And not only did I hit his truck, it was a damn good throw and aim because it hit his windshield and it cracked his windshield. So he stops and jumps out of the truck. I don't think anybody saw me, but he jumps out and Isaac, so your grandson hit my truck with a rock. They had a little conversation. I'm like, oh man, this is bad. And sure enough, my grandfather walks up and sees this nick on the windshield. And Jesse rolls away, and I know I'm in trouble. My daddy not around, my mother not around, and my grandfather reaches down, and this is God is my witness. Strike me down right here. My grandfather reaches down and pulls off a branch from a rose bush. Yes, just drags his arm and pulls off the leaves. Thorns are still applied to said switch. You get your ass whooped with a switch is bad enough, but a thorny switch? Oh my gosh. So he commences to busting my ass with a thorny switch. Yes. And you know I was marked up from head to toe. Now, that's probably child abuse. Not saying that what Adrian Peterson didn't do was child abuse either, but that was child abuse. That's a deadly weapon. And this is no lie. You're listening to The Doug Stewart Show. The wait is finally over. Baseball season is here at last, and the excitement continues all season long at DraftKings.com, the official daily fantasy partner of Major League Baseball. Daily fantasy means no season-long commitments, just instant cash, instant gratification. Why wait until the end of the season to claim victory when you can win huge cash every day? At DraftKings, it's like a brand new season every time you play. Just select 2 pitchers and 8 position players, stay under the salary cap, and you could be on your way to an enormous payday. Last year, Peter from Colorado won $1 million at DraftKings in one day, just playing fantasy baseball. Hundreds of thousands of fantasy sports fans just like you have already cashed in at DraftKings. Now it's your turn. Hurry to DraftKings.com now and enter promo code SPREAKER to play for free. You could win part of $300 million in prizes being awarded this season. Use promo code SPREAKER for free entry now at DraftKings.com. DraftKings.com, that's DraftKings.com. Welcome back to the Doug Stewart Show. And it is a Wild Out Wednesday. The number to the show is 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. And talking about the top 5 most influential rap artists of all time, shawty. That's what we're doing today. This segment is brought to you by System 5 Electronics. They're proud to offer my listeners in the Atlanta area the most affordable home security monitoring systems, featuring smart solutions for your busy lifestyle for as little as $16.50 per month. That's right. Once they install your alarm system, you own it. forever. I mean, it's yours. They've been around for over 25 years. Fantastic customer service. If you've ever got an issue with your security alarm system, ask to speak to the owner. His name is Mr. Maceo Brown. Ask to speak to Maceo Brown and tell him that the Doug Stewart Show sent you, and you are good to go on your radio. All right? So give them a call at 404-756-0736, or just check them out online. Very easy at System5Electronicsinc.com, and make sure you tell them that the Doug Stewart Show sent you. Listen, we talked about this on yesterday, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. We talked about this on yesterday, and nowhere in the conversation, I remember people kept saying how Warren Sapp was a dummy, and if you don't know the story, Warren Sapp, the video of his arrest for prostitution, solicitation, I guess you'd call it, came out. First of all, it's a problem that this video came out because it came, obviously, from the police station, which has to be against somebody's rule. I mean, it just has to be. But we talked about Sapp yesterday, and a lot of people were mentioning how dumb he was and how stupid he was. And we were talking for the logistical aspect of the story as far as, you know, what he was going to lose and the fact that he actually put himself in this position and that he doesn't have a job anymore and this, that, and the other. But really, in its truest sense, in its bare bones, you know, bottom of the conversation, is Warren Sapp really didn't even have to talk about this. The things that he revealed, listen to me, now follow me on this. You do know that he wasn't arrested for actual prostitution. He was arrested because of some type of disturbance in the hotel where he was in the room with these chicks and they ran out because he assaulted them allegedly. But the whole conversation about prostitution and him paying them for sex had nothing to do with it, with the reason why the police showed up there. So if you see this video and he's in this room, you know, giving his side of the story of what happened with this disturbance, he started to freely give this information about him paying hookers. Thus, not only already was he, you know, one of the dumbest athletes in the history of sports, I think, just from knowing the guy quasi personally, but the man revealed information that wasn't even needed to be revealed. He didn't even have to talk about the money, and, you know, he asked him to give him oral sex, and he pulled out $600. Why? Why did he even bring this up? Well, so Mr. Sapp, the women said that you paid them for sex. No, I didn't. But that's what they're saying. I'm saying they didn't. But Mr. Sapp, I mean, why did you have them there? I just wanted them to come there, and I wanted them to enjoy each other's company. That's all. But Mr. Sapp, let's be honest. You got two known ladies of the evening in your room. Why did you have them there? I just wanted to look at them. That's all this ninja had to say. They didn't have any videotape or they didn't have any surveillance in his room of exactly what went down. All a man had to say is, I didn't do anything. I don't know why the young lady got upset and ran out in the hall or whatever, and you guys were alerted. No conversation about paying hookers, but he voluntarily gave it. He didn't even have to do it. So Warren Sapp is nominated for a Boiled Penis Award, man. He is. I know. And right now, I think he might be in the lead. So you got him and you got that Britt McHenry chick we already have on the list for the Boiled Penis Award this Friday. But, yeah, unbelievable when you think about it. This guy volunteered information. You never do that, especially when you're talking to the police. Not only that, he got some money. He could have just called his lawyer. He could have shut up. I'm sure he's seen First 48 a couple times where you shouldn't just talk to the police, man, without your attorneys on hand. He's just dumb. You're just dumb, son. In the famous words of Fred Sanford to Lamont, you're just dumb, son. You're just dumb. This guy revealed to the authorities that he paid some hookers. He said cash money. He talked about cash money. You got to be freaking kidding me. Real People Music. Damn, Doug, did he bring some Cisco too? 9 on the Rhino, right. I'm talking about the little story earlier where I said my line brother brought some Tanqueray. 9 on the Rhino. Gin will either make me want to fight or get somebody pregnant. Can't touch it. Real People Music. Y'all are forgetting about the Tribe Called Quest, the entire neo soul movement. Joe Scott, Erykah Badu, Roots, D'Angelo, Kim, and Kanye to Drake all come from that jazz sound. Tribe influenced the way music was made. Even Nas, M.O.B., Deep, Mobb Deep. Please don't leave Tribe off the list. Tribe is up there. Tribe is on my honorable mention list. They are. But he's right. And I'm trying to think. There's no way I'm going to be able to remember the dates. I'm very lacking in the realm of dates. A lot of people can just rattle off dates when something happened. I'm just not that type of guy. And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. I'm trying to remember who came out first. Was it Tribe Called Quest or was it Diggable Planets? And now Diggable Planets didn't have obviously the career and the influence on music as Tribe Called Quest did, obviously. But they had that one, the Rebirth of Slick, I think it was called, with that jazz melodic, theme to it. Then a lot of artists have done a lot of neo-soul stuff. Bahamadia is another rapper that I just thought about right now that had that style with jazz kind of influenced it and was mixed into it. So, hey, Tree, if you can, jump on there and see when Diggable Planets first hit the scene and when Tribe Called Quest did. I'm going to guess it was probably Tribe Called Quest, though. From Thad Harris, we used to drink Tanqueray at the club, but we used to drink Naughty Head, Seagram's, at the crib. Laugh out loud. Yeah, Tanqueray was like a highfalutin gin. Like Seagram's and Bumpy Naughty Head was like, poor man's Tanqueray, for lack of a better way to put it. From Wiley B, man, that bumpy face. J.B. Jennings, Riley was definitely out of pocket, but that just goes to show you how great LeBron is that he made two separate fan bases lose their minds. LeBron clearly made the best choice based on which franchise gave him the best opportunity to win in the near future. From Eddie Moe, Tanqueray, oh boy, Kiss My Go to Hell, Gin Make You Sin, Keen 941. I see a lot of y'all got stories about that gin too. I see that. From Leon, Bombay Sapphire, from Brud McDowell, Stephen A. Atwell, Sugar Hill Gang's Rapper's Delight, his first ever hip-hop song to go national and global with acclaim. And am I missing something there? The first ever. Eddie Moe 2.0. That's true. I talked about that earlier. Eddie Moe 2.0. I grew with Salt and Pepper and MC Light. King Kane, when you grew up in the South, they can be, and I say Sugar Hill because, like Doug said, 95% of the nation was introduced to rap through Rapper's Delight. That is influence. It's big-time influence, man. Stagger Lee, Luke Skywalker, and 2 Live Crew. Bro McDowell, Kanye was influential for putting the Shy on the map. Nelly was influential for putting the Lou on the map, but they don't belong on the top 5 list because I grew up close to them. Yeah, see, Nelly, he's influential, you're right, because when you think St. Louis hip-hop and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, you think about Nelly, but there's really not been anybody other than Nelly to come out of St. Louis. Who was it? The Lunatics? And it was another guy, too. Oh, the Great Chingy. Where is the Great Chingy right now? Where are the St. Lunatics right now? So, yeah, Nelly, in effect, is the only big name from the St. Louis hip-hop music scene as far as hip-hop. Yeah, 404-382-0338. You can also email me at Doug at thedougstewartshow.com. Man, I love talking this hip-hop. I can do this all day. True lover of hip-hop. I like a lot of the new stuff too, but obviously my wheelhouse is 80s, early 90s, mid-90s, So I can talk about this stuff all day long, man. 404-382-0338. You can also email me at Doug at thedougstewartshow.com. When we get back from the break, man, we'll talk a little bit more about my top 5, and we got to talk some boxing, man. Floyd Mayweather Jr. has made some very controversial statements. We'll talk about them when we get back. Yeah. Controversial to some people, not so controversial to others, like myself. All right, don't go away. This is the Doug Stewart Show. thinking about starting that online store, right? And you do know e-commerce makes billions a year. That's right. I said billions with a B, okay? A B. Well, just do it and do it right with my friends at AmeriCommerce. AmeriCommerce is an easy-to-use tool to sell anything online on Facebook and through mobile phones. Over 100,000 merchants and website owners have chosen AmeriCommerce to handle their stores and customers. They have the most in-depth features in the industry, which include multiple storefronts, website management from one console, a Facebook shopping application, a mobilized, optimized website, and much more. Don't let eBay, Amazon, and Zappos get all the money. Get your piece of the pie, too. Click on their banner link on thedougstewartshow.com or the app link for more details. First of all, thank you for listening to The Doug Stewart Show. Now, if you've been listening for a while, you know that we've grown exponentially over the first couple of months. Whether that's listens, whether that's followers, we're blowing up, and you can be a part of it. If you have a company out there and you like to promote on The Doug Stewart Show, we'd love to partner with you. Here's what you do. Email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Once again, that's doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Whether that's locally, regionally, or nationally, we can get the word out. What you're talking about is middle-aged dudes that love sports and love exciting sports talk. Once again, email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. That's doug@thedougstewartshow.com, and we will put you out there, all right? That's doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Let's do some business. Yes! The wait is finally over. Baseball season is here at last, and the excitement continues all season long at DraftKings.com, the official daily fantasy partner of Major League Baseball. Daily fantasy means no season-long commitments, just instant cash, instant gratification. Why wait until the end of the season to claim victory when you can win huge cash every day? At DraftKings, it's like a brand new season every time you play. Just select 2 pitchers and 8 position players, stay under the salary cap, and you could be on your way to an enormous payday. Last year, Peter from Colorado won $1 million at DraftKings in one day, just playing fantasy baseball. Hundreds of thousands of fantasy sports fans just like you have already cashed in at DraftKings. Now it's your turn. Hurry to DraftKings.com now and enter promo code SPREAKER to play for free. You could win part of $300 million in prizes being awarded this season. Use promo code SPREAKER for free entry now at DraftKings.com. DraftKings.com, that's DraftKings.com.
You are now about to witness the strength of street knowledge.
Straight out of Compton is a crazy brother named Ice Cube. From the stupid dope gang with an attitude. Hold on, I got a sword on.
Welcome back to the Doug Stewart Show. And so you hear it in the background, man. Coming in at number 2 as my most influential hip-hop artist / groups of all times is the great NWA, man. And, I mean, what do you say about these guys, man? You know what they meant to the genre and to the art form, man, as far as rap goes. NWA, in effect, introduced the world to gangster rap, which has been, which was and still is now, still dominant. I mean, just really the entire attitude and how and what people talked about in raps, okay, totally switched, and it was all because of NWA. You had a lot of, I think that a lot of the nefarious, a lot of the bad aspects of hip-hop and to black culture in general really spurred from this group. NWA, that's how big of an effect they had on the industry. You know, they came up with, or the term had come up, gangster rap, all due to NWA. Not only that, they had some fantastic songs. They had some fantastic legacies to the game. When you talk about Ice Cube and Dr. Dre, all of the members really have a place in hip-hop history. But yes, NWA, before NWA, you know, it was a lot of positive. It was a lot of conscious stuff. It was a hip-hop, hippity-hop, you don't stop the rockin', that type of rap, and it was fun. It was more fun. But when NWA came on the scene, it became very dark and dangerous and nasty. Yes. I mean, just the whole game changed when NWA hit the scene, man. So, yeah, I have them at number 2 on my list of most influential hip-hop artists / groups of all times. I can't wait until that movie comes out. I can't, and it's very interesting. A couple of the stars playing in the movie are sons of some of the original members. Ice Cube's son is in it. I think Eazy-E's son is in it as well. But just a tremendous mark on the legacy and the history of hip-hop. So coming in at number 2 is the great NWA. Yeah. A lot of people say to the detriment of hip-hop, and I get that. A lot of people say to the detriment of hip-hop, but that's what we're talking about. We're talking about influence, and they influenced an entire generation of rappers. Okay? They did. Plain and simple. And I don't know if Ice-T had actually come out before these guys. They probably did. Ice-T probably did come out before. But the whole term gangster rap came from NWA. You know, and that lifestyle in the hood movies and Boys in the Hood and Minister Society. I mean, all of that really spurned after NWA. And once again, they influenced an entire generation of rappers. Everybody, you know, was trying to do gangster rap. Everybody, you know? And I think a lot of that came from NWA. You remember when even Run DMC actually got this little hardcore little attitude? I remember MC Hammer did the bumps in the rump, and he was wearing these high-tech boots or whatever, and he had a little hardcore, thuggish type attitude about his raps. I mean, they changed the game. NWA 100% changed the game, so they come in at number 2 on my list. 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedugstewartshow.com. Let me grab a call. Caller, thanks for calling the Doug Stewart Show. What's your name? Where you calling from? What you want to talk about?
So what's that?
T from Huntsville. What up, baby? Happy birthday.
I appreciate it. A little late for yesterday, man. Appreciate that shout out yesterday, man. That was cool.
No problem,
now,
brother.
I want to try to get in on the top 5 most influential rap groups or solo artists.
All right, this should be good. Let me hear it, T.
Hey, man, right off the top, though, I had this slight criticism. I went with groups because it is too damn hard to combine groups and solo artists because I think there's at least 5 prominent solos, more than, and as far as groups, the same thing. Okay. I mean, I think it's just too many to try to combine them two, so I just went with groups.
Okay.
Because otherwise I couldn't get the list up.
This is your list.
This is my list.
Right.
At number 5, I got Run DMC because that's one of the first groups I remember hearing.
You got Run DMC at number 5.
Yeah, I got Run DMC at number 5.
Okay, go ahead.
That's one of the first groups I remember hearing, and that, man, they started a lot of this. That was way back. I mean, early mid-80s, if I'm not mistaken. At number 4, here we go, A-Ball MJG. Now, this is me. This is my list. Just because of where I'm at and how coming out hard, and I mean, all those things came out real early, and they influenced a lot of the artists that are important to me. You know what I'm saying? So it was a Southern thing. They helped spark the minds of a lot of Southern artists that got things going later. So, I mean, they're on my list at number 4.
Click.
Number 3, go ahead, sir.
No, go ahead.
Okay, at number 3 is The Great Public Enemy. I know, number 3, but I mean, that's why I had to place him. I mean, it's obvious. You said everything needs to be said about PE. You know, actually talking about something, and at the same time giving you a quality product. You know, I put a lot of stock in that personally. Number 2 for me is Outkast. Now I know what you're thinking. Outkast for me, but because they put the South on the map. They weren't the first Southern group, but as far as like crossing over and everybody vibing to them and liking them, you know, they were influenced by UGK, A-Ball MJG, and shout out to UGK being right on outside of my list.
Mm-hmm.
They made the list for that reason because, I mean, Outkast is special, man. I love everything they do. I grew up with them. And at number 1 is NWA. Now, I want to say this about NWA because I know every word, everything they've never made. I don't think they started a downward culture. I think what they did was spoke honestly about what was going on in the environment, and they get blamed for a lot of that. Because at the end of the day, you know, people got upset with them for saying things that were going on in the neighborhood, but not upset with the people that were doing, you know, the crap in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
It's almost like that Chris Rock joke. The Remington Company sells guns, you know, people take guns and kill people. They make all kind of money. No criticism. A rapper says gun, federal hearing.
Yeah, that's a very good point. And I just talked about it. And maybe it was, you know, it wasn't purposeful, but they did influence a lot of younger people with that lifestyle and that type of music and the whole term gangster rap. But you're right. They were, in effect, talking about what was going on in their neighborhoods, man. And it was just so real, man, that it really just took off.
It really did, man. At the end of the day, the record company started pushing other people that didn't live that lifestyle to tell that type of story because they thought it was going to sell. So that's probably more, people who should get the blame that don't get talked about, those guys behind the scenes, man. And as far as those Full Network stories, Sapp, everybody else, man, just consider the source and consider the type of people they hire. That's all I'm saying when they tell their source, man. And just like the credibility of the Full Network, don't.
And appreciate the call, T. He called 404-382-0338. That's the number to the show. Yeah, man. Very good point. Very good point about NWA, and T from Huntsville has NWA at number 1 on his list, and I understand, man. And that's really the crux. And I really thought about putting NWA at number 1. I just felt like I had to put another group at number 1. But influence, that's the title of this top 5 today. Influential. And words can't even be put into place about the influence of NWA and all of the rappers that came after them from the West Coast. I mean, you're talking about Dogg Pound. You're talking about Snoop Dogg. You're talking about, just anybody. Mac 10. Anybody you can think of. Dub C. Anybody you can think of were all influenced, okay? They were all influenced by NWA. In an interview with ESPN Stephen A. Smith, Floyd Mayweather Jr. says, "No one can ever brainwash me to make me believe that Sugar Ray Robinson and Muhammad Ali was better than me. No one could ever brainwash me and tell me that." We talked about this a couple of days ago, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. And I said, and the whole conversation was about how much Floyd loves himself and how much confidence Floyd has in himself. And I 100% respect that. He went on to say, "But one thing I will do, I'm going to take my hat off to them and respect those guys because those are the guys that have paved the way for me to be here where I am today." And in all of this conversation about these controversial comments that Floyd Mayweather made about Muhammad Ali and these guys, they seem to forget and leave that part out, that Floyd did pay due respect to the forefathers and to the legends of boxing. But I'll continue. When asked if he truly believed he was better than Ali, Mayweather recalled the heavyweight losing his record or his world titles to Leon Spinks in 1978. Quote, "Leon Spinks only had 7 fights. He said, never put a fighter in there with Floyd Mayweather with 7 fights. Mayweather also criticized the rope-a-dope tactics adopted by Ali against George Foreman in the Rumble in the Jungle. "Are you going to tell me it's cool to lay on the ropes and take punishment and let a man tire himself out from beating you?" he said. "He's basically fatigued. You hit me with a few punches and he goes down and quits. You want to be glorified for that? Absolutely not." And I know there's a lot of Floyd Mayweather Jr.'s out there, but Floyd always speaks the truth. He does. Think about that. What kind of strategy, when you really think about it, and we all revere Muhammad Ali. I love Muhammad Ali, greatest fighter of all time. In retrospect, in relative terms, probably Muhammad Ali is the greatest boxer of all time, not just for what he did inside the ring and outside of the ring. But really, step back and think about that rope-a-dope. Okay? Getting your ass kicked for a couple of rounds just so the guy can tire out himself and you can launch an offensive. I mean, that doesn't make too much sense to me. I got to be honest with you. So I'm with Floyd. And I'm also with Floyd in believing in himself, okay? And I said this last night on Twitter and on Facebook and got a lot of conversations still going on right now. You can say all you want about Floyd Mayweather Jr. And now we're talking about pound for pound. We're not talking about Floyd Mayweather Jr. getting in the ring with a 230-pound Muhammad Ali or a 220-pound Mike Tyson. No, we're talking pound for pound all time. All right, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Floyd Mayweather ain't never been beat. That means something. Everybody they trotted out there in front of them, he whooped their ass. Before the fight, this is going to be the guy that's going to beat Floyd Mayweather Jr. And then after the fight, he was past his prime. Floyd Mayweather never touched the canvas. Not only has he never been knocked out, the man has never been knocked down. Oh, yeah. And he's probably the greatest defensive fighter in the history of boxing, or at least one of the top 2 or 3. So you can say all you want. Yeah, he's an a-hole. He's very braggadocious. I guess you can put him in the category of being arrogant. But one thing you're not going to say is he's not one of the best of all time and not get an argument from me. Whatever. The man speaks the truth. And whether you want to give him his props or not, that's up to you. But I'm going to tell you one thing. I got 5 on this fight on May the 2nd that he is going to kick the crap out of Manny Pacquiao. Don't go away, The Doug Stewart Show. First of all, thank you for listening to The Doug Stewart Show. Now, if you've been listening for a while, you know that we've grown exponentially over the first couple of months. Whether that's listens, whether that's followers, we're blowing up, and you can be a part of it. If you have a company out there and you like to promote on The Doug Stewart Show, we'd love to partner with you. Here's what you do. Email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Once again, that's doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Whether that's locally, regionally, or nationally, we can get the word out. What you're talking about is middle-aged dudes that love sports and love exciting sports talk. Once again, email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. That's doug@thedougstewartshow.com, and we will put you out there, all right? That's doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Let's do some business. Yes!
The best of The Doug Stewart Show.
Now, 2 things, and you're listening to The Doug Stewart Show. First of all, you're going to have us to believe, Shayana Jenkins, you're going to have us to believe that you, a black woman, didn't look inside of this damn box. That's a lie. And then the second big part of this whole thing is you. Come on, Tree. Come on, Tree. What black woman you know in America is going to be told to do something nefarious sounding like that and not take a peek inside the damn box?
You better stop.
You stop. And the second thing Shayana's going to have us to believe is that you took this box that you didn't look in, and you being a black woman, you took this box and don't know where you dumped it at? You discarded this secret box and don't know where? Come on, man. And another thing about black women, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, and I'm an expert on black women. All of the black women I know, and I've had this conversation about, about this Aaron Hernandez trial, and what do you think that his girlfriend's going to do when she testifies, this, that, and the other. Everybody that I talk to, and I kind of get the feeling from talking to black women that they ain't trying to do no time for nobody. Yes.
Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to noon Eastern. The Doug Stewart Show. Sports talk. Straight. No chaser.
This your boy Doug Stewart for my folks at System 5 Electronics. They're proud to offer my listeners here in the metro Atlanta area all the way down to Macon, Georgia, the most affordable home security monitoring systems, featuring smart solutions for that busy lifestyle you lead for as low as $16.50 per month. Here's some of the reasons why you should choose System 5.
Hi, I'm Maceo Brown, President and CEO of System 5 Electronics. We take pride in making sure that security is the number one thing that we do. And thanks to you, the customer that has supported us, we have grown this company in Southwest Atlanta, where we're creating jobs and opportunities.
Not only is their monitoring station here in Atlanta, but they also install the most advanced, up-to-date alarm systems where you can access cameras, lights, door locks, thermostats, and other devices remotely with your smartphone. 24/7 technical support, plus the lowest service call fees in the business. And check this. You own the security alarm system once it's installed. And you get direct access to the owner if you ever got a problem, Mr. Maceo Brown. Click on the banner on the Doug Stewart Show website or app for more details, or give them a call at 404-756-0736. Again, that's 404-756-0736, or online at System5ElectronicsInc.com. That's System5ElectronicsInc.com.
Ago, a friend of mine asked me to say some MC rhyme, so I said this rhyme I'm about to say.
Welcome back to the Doug Stewart Show. And you know what it is. Coming in at number 1. on the top 5 most influential hip-hop artists of all times is the great Run DMC. Yes, sir. Champagne, caviar, and bubble bath. You see, that's the life that I lead, and you sucker MCs. Do I please to take it back, move back, or catch a heart attack because there's nothing in the world. And run around like a bone chillax, a party with the new war stands. A rapper on the mic and making girls want to dance. Fly like a dove and come from up above. And rocking on the mic, and you can call me Young Love. Yes, sir, Run DMC.
Wow. You really like that, huh?
Man, Tree.
You wanted to be a rapper, not a talk show host.
Oh, my gosh. I never put my mind to it, but I could have if I wanted to. Tree, words can't even put into words, or words can't even express. Words can't express how big Run DMC was in the late 80s. You were there, or in the early 90s. You're talking about the first hip-hop group on the cover of Rolling Stone magazines? I mean, Rolling Stone magazine? I mean, what?
You did a good job just now.
Oh, I did?
Yeah.
Thank you. I mean, they don't put ninjas on the cover of Rolling Stone magazine.
Right. Not back then.
You know how big that was? That was huge. That was huge. And, Run DMC on the cover of Rolling Stone magazine, and Run DMC does come in at number 1 on my list of most influential hip-hop artists of all times. What do you say? You can start off with the Rolling Stone conversation on the cover of Rolling Stone magazine. The fact that they kind of made or gave hip-hop a national appeal. This is the first hip-hop group with a major endorsement from Adidas. They had an endorsement from Adidas way back in the early 90s, late 80s, early 90s, for $1.6 million. That was Run DMC. That was Run DMC. And I try to describe to my daughters how big Run DMC was back in the day, and I can't even do it. But these guys were orca big, man. Run DMC was orca big. Major deal when you're talking about Run DMC, man. And obviously Russell Simmons still very prominent right now with the reality TV shows and whatnot. DMC hasn't been that much in the scene. And then you know about Jam Master Jay actually dying a couple of years ago, man. R.I.P. to the great Jam Master Jay. But, yeah, coming in, and you're talking about giving a worldwide appeal, that was Run DMC. Now, an argument can be made for Sugar Hill Gang with the first single that kind of, crossed or got out on the scene where, most people were introduced to the genre of hip-hop through Sugar Hill Gang. But Run DMC took it to even a bigger level, to the level in which we are at right now, a national and worldly relevance. That was the great Run DMC. Yes, sir. So my list, number 5, Biggie Smalls. Number 4, Public Enemy. Number 3, Tupac Shakur. Number 2, NWA. And number 1, Run DMC. Let me read more of this chat here from Kiss My Go to Hell. Self-snitches put the damn self in ditches. Yeah. Self-snitches put they damn self in ditches. I guess he's talking about the whole Warren Sapp conversation from earlier. The guy told on himself. Who does that? Warren Sapp told on himself. Vince Wright, get a lawyer, dummy. You don't have the right to remain silent, or you do have the right to remain silent. Quazza, laugh out loud. Somebody said yesterday Sapp was looking like he was chilling at a bar talking to the police. Laugh out loud. Yeah, that's the other strange thing about this, and I'm glad you said that, Quazza. Something very interesting, and Tree, jump on the mic here for a second, and you tell me if you noticed this. In that video of Warren Sapp describing what happened in such detail, it almost seemed to me that this ninja didn't realize, or he didn't know, that it was against the law to pay for sex, that prostitution was illegal. Like, he didn't know that. Based on the stuff that he was saying and telling the police, I really think this man didn't know him paying a woman for sex is illegal.
Let me tell you what he might have thought. Okay, so he was probably thinking, well, we didn't ride raw. I just had her service me. So he's probably thinking fellatio doesn't fall under that same category.
Okay, you know what? You know what? You might be right.
He could use that argument, sir.
That's not an argument, though. Evidently it is. They put his ass in jail. But here's the bigger thing about that whole conversation. Okay, you make a very good point. Maybe that's what this ninja was thinking. But why did he think anything? Why did he say anything? He didn't have to say anything at all.
How about they might have made him feel comfortable? Like, you know what I mean? Like, hey, Doug, I seen you on the radio, or I heard you on the radio, that kind of thing.
And it was a lady. It was a woman. Mm-hmm. It was a woman doing the interview. Clearly, Warren Sapp has never seen First 48, because that's what they do, is they lull you into feeling easy and, yeah, just talk to me. It'll be okay. Like, you almost get the idea, and you kind of get in your mind that if you work with the police and you talk to the police, that you actually might walk out of there. And that's the furthest thing from the truth. If you watch First 48, you know you're not leaving. If you're involved with anything egregious, a murder or a rape, any type of assault, you're not going home, man. Just get that out of your head that you're going to sweet talk these police into letting you go home. You are not going home. You're not. This is a public service announcement from the Doug Stewart Show. If you get involved with anything heinous, okay, where they're questioning you at the police station, as a man that's an avid fan of First 48, know this: you are not going home. This ninja thought he was going home. Warren Sapp thought he was going home. Your black ass ain't going home, man. You talking about prostitution, and they had already probably heard through the grapevine. Somebody probably said it in the hall. One of their coworkers, one of the policemen probably said, you know, that's Warren Sapp. So then he has a celebrity, and he's well known. Oh, yeah. Nah, man, you ain't going home. Just shut up. Just shut up. He's nominated for a Boyle Penis Award. Yes, sir! He is nominated for a Boyle Penis Award! Warren Sapp, you dumbass! This man just spilled his guts to the police. Who does that? You just dumb, son. You just dumb. Thank you very much for joining me today on the Doug Stewart Show, man. I really do appreciate it. Shouts out to all of the Stewies in the chat room that makes this show totally interactive. Thank you for doing what you do, posting, calling. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Shouts out to the Tree of Life Tree. Thank you for your hard work today. Waterhead Walter, Gerald Oliveri, Dwayne Bassan. Thank y'all. Oh, boy, it's going to be a battle this week for the BPA. Yes. Britt McHenry, Warren Sapp, dumbass. Yeah. All right, so we'll do it again tomorrow, man. Throwback Thursday, the Doug Stewart Show. Peace.